Okay, we are going live on YouTube.
Cool.
So we're going to get that going here, and then we're going to also get that connected to mgstudents.online.church. So let me go ahead and get this shared over real quick, and then we will go live on Instagram as well.
Cool.
Bailey, one of the original guests when we were just kind of figuring out and conceptualizing how to do something live for students regularly. And then Devin re-nominated you for a special, to be the special guest again. Doesn't that make you feel good?
It does.
All right. So we're live on mgstudents.online.church. And let's see, we're checking the connection, and we are now live on Instagram as well. Bailey Cook, our special guest. We're going to give a second for everybody to kind of join in with us online and on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed to our MG Students YouTube page. We're going to be working on getting an actual web address that's super easy to share with your friends for YouTube, but we just crossed over 100 subscriptions on our YouTube page, so that is an exciting milestone that we got. Good to see you, Kinsley, Dalton Stroud, good to see you. Thanks for joining us on Instagram, and hopefully some more people will be joining in here in just a little bit. Bailey, today is National Tell a Story Day. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes, National Tell a Story Day. So we will have you share a story later on with us, something funny, something that's strange that's happened to you in the past. And what we like to have our guests do is give a 3-word teaser of what your story's about to kind of give us a clue, a hint of what it's about, and then we'll wait for the rest of it later. So how would you summarize your story in 3 words?
White House plate.
White House plate. Okay. So we'll find out what the White House plate is all about. It's National Tell a Story Day. So hopefully you're enjoying that it's a National Tell a Story Day wherever you are. Hopefully you're engaging with some good stories. Bailey, it's a beautiful day outside, isn't it?
It is a beautiful day.
Have you been outside at all today?
I have.
That's good. What have you been up to?
I just going outside random breaks between classes today because quarantine is not the best. So you gotta get outside sometimes.
That's right. All right. All of your favorite people are here. JC Shelton is here. Chelsea Payne has joined us. Jess Richardson, good to see you. Thanks for hopping on as well. Bailey, on this day, the universe was created. I don't know if you knew that.
Apparently, I did not know.
According to German mathematician and astronomer Johann Kepler, April 27th, 4977 BC, according to him, the universe is created. So happy Universe Creation Day, according to German mathematician and astronomer Johann Kepler. So not only are we bringing some hope and encouragement to people, we're also bringing some education.
Okay?
Wow. So, yeah.
Go tell a story.
I wasn't there on 4977 BC.
Weird.
Yeah. So we're not sure on the validity of that. Bailey, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell a little story about who you are and help us to know you a little bit better.
Cool. Yeah. So I am 8 days away from being done with college. I'm a senior at Johnson University. I've done 2 internships at Mount Gilead the last 2 summers. And in just a little over a month, I will be joining on staff as the children's minister, and I'm very excited. So,
yeah, that's right. Bailey, you're joining our staff, our family ministry team on June 1st, and all of our jobs are kind of shifting a little bit. Bailey, what areas are you going to be overseeing directly?
I will be over birth through fourth grade directly.
Gotcha. And what is it? What are you excited about for those age groups and getting to work with those leaders and those ages?
Yeah, I think it's just such a big time. It's when we all reflect back on growing up in the church, we remember our time in children's ministry and just the stories that we got to learn and the friendships that we made. And I think for a lot of people, that's really the foundation of where our relationship with Christ starts. So I'm just really excited to be able to watch kids grow and build relationships with families.
Bailey, I know I speak for everybody that's probably watching this and everybody here at Mount Gilead. They're excited that you are joining the team. And for those of us in student ministry, we're excited because we want to encourage students to plug in and serve and be a part of helping preschoolers and elementary students to just fall in love with Jesus and to follow after him. Chelsea Payne says, "We love you." Jason Felton says, "Wow, Bailey is so cool." All right. And Jeff, so excited for you as well. So you guys in the chat, hit the heart button, show Bailey some love. All right. That you're excited. She's going to be joining us at Mount Gilead. And really, Bailey, one of the cool things that we're trying to do in family ministry world is not just help kids and students, but also help parents understand what it means to kind of pour into their kids and their students and help them grow in their faith. So I'm curious, has your mom and dad been instrumental in like helping your faith journey along the way?
Definitely.
Yeah. What are some things that when you think back to Bailey as an elementary student, as an elementary kid, or as a little preschooler that's bopping down the hall with the curly hair flopping in the wind? What do you remember? What do you remember about your mom and dad helping you grow in your faith?
So my mom I went to preschool at the church that I grew up at. And so my mom was a part of preschool. She was a teacher. So she was always a part of it. Then she was really crucial in serving in children's ministry and even youth ministry. And so I remember always being really involved in serving just because of her. And just my parents have been super encouraging along the way of just me growing with the Lord, but also as I decided to go into ministry, like they've just been very encouraging and supportive in that. So I think right now too, we're especially in just a really cool space and opportunity for parents to be able to help their kids and students grow because their kids aren't able to go to a church building right now. And so constantly being around families, parents play a really big part in that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we're talking about as a family ministry team is helping parents throughout this summer, throughout this unique season, to give resources and every tip and help we can along the way to help their kids and their students grow in their faith. So, Bailey, we've got some icebreaker questions for you. Okay.
Hey.
The first is this a would you rather question. Would you rather, and everybody on Instagram and online, please answer this question as well. We want to know where you stand on this. Would you rather wake up early and eat breakfast or wake up later and skip breakfast? What's your preference on that?
I am a wake up later and skip breakfast type of person.
Wake up later, skip breakfast, as long as you have like Dunkin' coffee, right?
Right, that's all you need.
All right, out there, are you early risers, wake up early and eat breakfast, or wake up late and skip breakfast? Chelsea is wake up later and skip. JC is wake up early. Jess is later and skip. Kinsley is early and then breakfast. Yeah. Bailey hates mornings. That's what JC says. So
yeah, I was gonna say I can tell you JC's answer to that one.
Bailey, what is the best movie you have seen lately?
I'm not a big movie person.
Not a big movie person.
So I don't even remember what the last movie I watched was.
What's the best book that you've read lately?
Ooh, that's a good one. I read Whisper by Mark Batterson. So good.
Okay, so what's Give us a little summary of Whisper. What is it?
Basically just like listening to God. I think that's a huge thing right now. It's just like we constantly are asking God for things. And it talks about how God speaks often through a whisper. And we really like just focusing ourselves on being still and listening for what it is that he has to tell us. It was just really encouraging, and I found myself writing all over it. So yeah, shout out, definitely read that book.
Awesome. Okay, Whisper, Mark Batterson. Check that out about listening to God's voice, being able to discern that. Super important right now. JC says the last movie you probably watched was Hairspray.
Probably. JC likes to watch Hairspray while she's getting ready in the morning, so we watched it approximately like every day for the last month of school.
Gotcha. That's kind of interesting, like watching Hairspray while you're applying hairspray and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, all the hairspray I put in my hair.
All right. Unpopular opinion, Bailey. What's something that you're super into that maybe nobody else is into? Maybe it's something that you can't stand that everyone seems to love. Last week, Riley Gaunt said that the red slushy is way better than the blue slushy. And did you weigh in on that?
I think I did. I think blue is better.
You think blue is better? I think most people said that blue was better. So that truly was an unpopular opinion. A lot of people have been talking about food when it comes to these things. It doesn't have to go that route, but what's an unpopular opinion, Bailey, that you have?
So I hate peanut butter and chocolate together. I think they do not belong together. Reese's.
You don't like Reese's anything?
Mm-mm.
Peanut
Chocolate
butter?
and peanut butter don't go together. I like them both separate, not together.
PB and chocolate does not go together. Yeah, JC almost called it right before you said it. So that's awesome. What do you guys think about the peanut butter chocolate combo? Do you guys agree with Bailey that these things are gross, or do you guys think that that Bailey's like way off? Yeah, psychopath, that says Dalton. What do you guys think about that peanut butter and chocolate? All right, I'm going to write it down so we can get it on Instagram later and see what people think about that. Chloe Walsh would definitely agree with you because she hates peanut butter everything, apparently.
Thank you, Chloe. I like peanut butter though, so I don't know if that's a thank you, Chloe, or a you're weird, but
yeah. Chelsea says they're only okay during Easter. All right. JC says you're wrong. Kinsley says you're wrong. And yeah. Dalton asks, how do you and JC do social distancing? Are you guys struggling?
Right? We are struggling. We've decided that we're just going to social distance together and that she's just going to move into my house because it's a struggle.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We also have a class together, and so one of our favorite things to do is to text each other in the middle of class and try not to laugh.
That sounds amazing. I got a feeling that she's texting you all sorts of random stuff just to get you to laugh.
She probably is. All
right. So now is the point where we turn the tables a little bit and you get to ask me anything. We've worked together for a couple years now in internships and things like that. Got to know each other fairly well, but I'm wondering, is there any question you have that I can answer?
Am I only allowed one question as the first?
As long as it's interesting. I'm not that interesting. That's why I have guests on the show.
Okay, well, I'm just saying I have a couple important ones, and I needed to know if I needed to rank them on importance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So first of all, what is the most important eating utensil?
The most important eating utensil is...
Or the most superior, like...
Oh, the most superior one?
Yeah.
It's the fork.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I say it's fork. I've had several people argue that it's a spoon, and I think that the fork is more superior.
Gotcha. What do you guys think? Is fork more superior or spoon more superior? JC says spoon, Chelsea fork, Dalton spoon. These guys are on it with their... All right. Kinsley says fork. It's pretty split. You gotta have the stabbing fact.
That's what I'm saying.
Got it. Spoon, you can't stab anything. That's why the spork is literally genius.
Right.
Whoever came up with that, it's literally genius. Yeah. So
Okay, so that one leads me into my next question is, if you can't have hands or claws, but you can have something else attached to the end of your arms, what would it be?
probably forks. Right?
I mean,
They're close to hands, but they're right. Everybody, like, wouldn't you just have forks attached to the end? Like,
but then how do you eat like cereal if you only had forks on the end of your hands?
you use the things, the
Like,
curvature of the fork to like grab the bowl, and you just
oh, you just drink the cereal straight out of the bowl.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you put the forks together and scoop the cereal out.
Crisscross them. I don't know. Dalton says guns. Chelsea says hooks. JC says cannons. Kinsley says one fork and one spoon. That's a really good. That's a good quote. That's a good answer.
My first response was spatulas. I don't know what you're gonna do with spatulas.
You're pretty much locked into one scenario. Like, you're gonna work at the Waffle House for the rest of your life if you only have spatulas.
Fine. Okay, this one's a shout out to JC.
Okay.
If you could have 5 liquids shoot out of your fingers, what 5 liquids would they be?
5 liquids?
Yep.
Okay. One would be coffee. 2 would be hand sanitizer, right?
Ooh.
Third would be Chick-fil-A sauce. 4th would be Frank's Red Hot sauce. And then 5 would be probably chocolate sauce. So that would be it. Yeah.
It's very important.
JC's thought about this, I can tell. What did I miss? I got coffee. I got hand sanitizer. I got Chick-fil-A sauce, Frank's Red Hot sauce, and chocolate sauce.
One very important one is gas.
Gasoline?
Yeah.
You
would never have to pay for gas ever again if you just.
Yeah, that's true. But we're going into like solar powered cars, and
I guess it depends on,
like
if you're in the middle of quarantine, gas is not a top of my priority right now.
Yeah. Gasoline is good. That's a good one. Chelsea chooses Dr. Pepper, blue Powerade, water, orange juice. Dalton said red Powerade, blue Powerade, Red Bull. Why red Powerade and blue Powerade? It's the same thing. Red Bull, coffee, and where? So I can save the world. I'm not sure what where is. Okay. Let's get into our scripture for today.
Let's do it.
We have been going through the 1-minute Bible for students. And yes, I would rather have Chick-fil-A sauce than gas. Seriously. Like, it's amazing. Okay. We've been studying through the 10 commandments a little bit here. And the commandment that we're talking about today is murder. Exodus 20 verse 13 says, do not murder. All right. And then Jesus talks about this commandment in Matthew chapter 5, verse 21 through 22. So go ahead and read that, and just share some observations you have and why you think obviously murder should be one of the most important commandments that we have.
Yeah, cool. All right, so Matthew chapter 5, verses 21 through 22 says, you have heard that our ancestors were told, you must not murder. If you commit murder, you are subject to judgment. But I say, if you are even angry with someone, you are subject to judgment. If you call someone an idiot, you are in danger of being brought before the court. And if you curse someone, you are in danger of the fire of hell. So yeah. To me, the first thing that really just like sticks out from this is it talks about murder. and how if you commit murder, then you're subject to judgment. But then it turns around and just says, even if you're angry with someone, you're subject to judgment. And so obviously, I think it's when we think of murder, we're like, oh yeah, that's a sin. And if you do that, then like you're going to face judgment. And we think of that as extremely bad. But then the verse goes on to say, even if you're angry with someone, like you're subject to the same judgment as if you murder someone.
Yeah.
And I think oftentimes we put murder above being angry with someone. And to see that they're both subject to the same thing is like really powerful. And we need to be very cautious of, like, even if we're angry with someone, we're subject to the same thing as if we were to murder someone.
Why do you think they are both kind of in the same, under the same umbrella in terms of that, in terms of judgment?
Well, like under the same umbrella as sin in general, or
Well, just, I mean, Jesus says, yeah, if you commit murder, you're
or
subject.
anger.
Yeah, but anger's in there as well. You're subject to the same. You just said you're subject to the same judgment, which it's true. Yeah. So why do you think Jesus is putting them both kind of on equal plane there?
I think many times the root of murder is anger, and there's something that in most cases, I guess, there's something that causes people to murder someone else, and oftentimes that's out of anger. So I think that's probably why you're not. If I don't know, never mind. I don't know where I'm going with that.
No, I think you're exactly on the right track. Usually you don't stumble into murder.
Right.
You're usually on the pathway towards increasing intentional, anger, or participating in slander of people, and constantly heading towards a path. JC says, the heart, heart. It starts to erode the condition of your heart when
it's
you're
a heart problem.
Yeah, it's a heart problem. And this is something that Jesus kind of routinely does in the Sermon on the Mount. We're talking about the Sermon on the Mount every Sunday on our church service now, and Jesus kind of keeps bringing it back to the heart. So do you see that there's some application for us right now in this season when it comes to this passage? And obviously it's still applicable not to murder people.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when you're with your family constantly. No, but
don't murder people. Like that's a pretty key application.
That's don't murder anyone. Yeah. But I think just even with the anger part, like just being cautious of your heart and where it lies. And if you notice that you're becoming angry with someone, taking the steps to prevent that before, obviously not just because you're angry with someone, you're not going to end up murdering them, but just being cautious of your actions and your thoughts toward other people.
Yeah. And the other thing too is physical murder is not the only kind of murder.
Right.
I mean, you can murder somebody by the words that you say to them, right?
Or even the way you act towards them.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that? I mean, there's literally a saying that says, "You're dead to me." You can literally cut somebody off and completely, but you're not physically killing them, but in other ways you're effectively doing the same thing. So it's good. Some good applications there. Bailey, would you wrap this time up with some prayer, and we're going to do some story time. You said White House Plate is your story that we're going to hear about. We have our trivia game, so get ready, guys. You can play along with Bailey as she goes through the trivia game here in just a second, and then we'll do some other things before we go. So
cool. Yeah, let's pray. God, I thank you so much just for this time and just the opportunity to just look at your word and look at the applications that we can make in our lives. I pray that in the midst of quarantine, when it's sometimes hard to get along with the people around us, that you will just protect our hearts from anger, and that you will just allow us to put these words into action and just be with us in our relationships, allow us to just love one another and grow closer during this time. We thank you so much. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Bailey, thanks for being with us. Thanks for being such a great special guest for today. Getting Monday kicked off to a great week so far. Coming up in the next couple days, tomorrow is Ethan Weimer joining us. So
nice.
I'm sure Ethan's got some funny stories to share, some adventures and things like that. And then on Wednesday, we have Faith Stout joining us. So I'm excited for that as well. Faith is one of my favorites. So we've got a great week of MG Students Live coming up here. But we're not done yet, Bailey. Story time. What is something strange or funny that has happened to you? Everybody is here waiting to hear what you're going to share with us. So go ahead.
To unravel the story of the White House plate.
White House plate.
So, first of all, White House is like, everyone's like, what in the world? So at school, I work for the president and his wife. So I work at the White House on campus. And I've worked there for 4 years. And I've never really had anything too exciting happen. I dropped a spoon one time in the middle of a dinner, but outside of that, nothing too bad. So as a worker at the White House, my job is to clean the guest house where when people come onto campus, they stay there. And I do laundry and different things like that. But another part of my job is we host dinners for like important groups of people. So if we have speakers that come onto campus for chapel, we'll often do dinners for them. Different student groups we do dinners for. And so during homecoming week, where the alumni come onto campus and it's basically like a conference for a couple of days, the trustees were all on campus, which are the important people of the school. They come to dinner one night at the White House, and
so the trustees, for those people that don't know, are like they're the board that makes all the decisions for
yeah.
So this is like super important group of people.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're getting ready for dinner, and we had some other students that were helping us serve for this dinner. And so I'm taking them through like what we do on a typical night of dinner. And I'm explaining to them like, this is what we do. And I told them, I'm like, don't be nervous, like just because the trustees. I'm like, we've all embarrassed ourselves before. I'm like, I've dropped a spoon in the middle of a dinner and like the president talked about it the rest of the night, made me feel really embarrassed. I'm like, don't worry about it. You got nothing to worry about. So as the dinner goes on, I'm in the kitchen helping plate the food onto plates. And at one point in time, we had a bunch of plates on the counter that were ready to be taken out. And so my boss asked me, she's like, hey, will you run a couple of plates out real fast? And I was like, yeah, of course. So I go out there and I put the plate in front of the trustee, and his wife was with him, sitting next to him. And so I went to give her the plate. And as I was like putting it down on the table, it was still in my hand. The whole plate just cracked and fell into pieces. All like, it wasn't that I dropped it. It wasn't that like, I don't know what, there had to have been a crack in the plate. And when it got hot, it just completely fell apart.
Oh my goodness. What's the plate made out of? Like
they're like China plates. Like,
okay. So this isn't cheap or anything.
Oh so my first reaction, I just stood there and I was like,
yeah.
Because here I just told the other people that were helping us, I'm like, you can't do anything as bad as I have. Like, I've just dropped a spoon. This whole plate shatters in the middle of the dinner of all these important people. So I like run into the kitchen and I get a towel and I'm like trying to like scoop up the glass and all of this hot food that's on the table.
Like burning her to death. Yeah.
I'm burning my hand. The tablecloth is white. So now there's like food all over this white tablecloth. It was, and my boss just looks at me and she's like, well, I can't fire her. She's going to graduate soon. And I was like, I have worked here for 4 years and nothing like this has ever happened. And it was the trustees. And
So this like just happened.
this was like in February.
Oh, wow. Just a couple months ago.
Yes.
Kent says, super grip, Bailey. You were kung fu on the
They
plate.
were like, you dropped it. And I was like, luckily someone else noticed. Like there was it hadn't even left my hand and it just broke into pieces.
That's a great story. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. But
Was
looking
the
back
lady
on it now, it's
okay
very
with that?
funny.
Like, was everything all right?
Yeah, she was super nice about it. Like I was like, if this would have been my freshman year, I probably would have cried. But
You're like, just another day for Bailey at this point.
yep. I'm like, now I'm never gonna say you can never do anything as bad as me, because then something's gonna happen to me that night.
All right. Well, we're gonna keep a note of that when you start working here. Like, okay, Bailey will find some people to serve the plates, especially to the kids. We don't want to spill hot food on them. So
You
go
just
ahead.
go stand over there.
All right. Well, you definitely made a mess that night. Let's see how much of a mess you make in the trivia game. 5 random questions. All right. You know Jen Reed is at the summit with some others of the champions of the trivia game. So let's see how you do with these 5. All right. Are you ready for question number 1, Bailey?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Let's do it.
Everybody in Instagram land and watching online, feel free to play along and see how you do with these questions as well. Okay. Bailey, question number 1. What fast food restaurant sells the beef and cheddar?
Is that Arby's?
1 for 1. Good job, Bailey. It is Arby's. You like Arby's? Are you a big fan?
It's okay.
Okay. I know. I don't think they have chicken nuggets, so but they have the beef and cheddar. Good job. 1 for 1. All right. Yes, Kinsley, great job on Arby's. Wonderful. Question number 2. All right. What group was Beyonce a member of before she began her solo career?
I don't know if I know that one.
Do you know who Beyonce is, Bailey?
Yes, I know who Beyonce is.
You know who Beyonce? Do you know that she was in she was in a group before she went solo?
I guess I didn't.
Gotcha. Let's see. I wonder if anybody in the chat can help.
Stacey's probably judging me. She probably knows it.
JC does know it. And she also said you won't know it. So yeah, she knows it and she was judging you. So, and Dalton knows it as well.
Can I phone a friend?
Can you phone a friend? You've got 2 answers here that are correct. So, do you want to guess?
What's it? Can I ask what's it start with?
It starts with the letter D.
I'm uncultured.
Hockett is singing a song of theirs right now. All my women are independent. Yeah, there you go. Throw your hands up at me. Yep, that's right. That's right. So sad. So sad. They say their name in every one of their songs.
Think of what it is.
Who's the whale on Finding Dory? If she had a baby, that's the name of the band. JC is giving you. She's dropping so many hints. What? All right, I can't go any longer.
I would say you're just gonna tell me.
Destiny's Child. It's Destiny.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Hockett's still texting lyrics of that. You are not disappointing, Matt Hockett. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can bounce back. You're 1 for 2 right now.
Okay.
What fictional town in Connecticut is the setting for the show Gilmore Girls?
Stars Hollow.
2 for 3. Good job. Good job.
I feel like that one was made for me.
I thought maybe you weren't going to get the Destiny's Child one, so I wanted to help you get back on track.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. What author wrote the Lord of the Rings books? This is going to be worse than Destiny's Child if you don't know.
It is, because I have never read The Lord of the Rings or watched the movies. So I don't.
Or The Hobbit. It's the
Nope.
same thing. They wrote The Hobbits.
None of them.
Never read any of them.
You
Want to guess?
I don't even know. The first person that came to mind is the author of Harry Potter, so that doesn't help.
It's a little close because of the first name is like just some letters and then
I'm not gonna be able to figure it out. You're gonna have to tell me this one.
it is J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh.
It's talking with a British-ish accent. It says JC. Tolkien. All right. What is the name of the talkative parrot in Aladdin?
JC is going to be so mad at me. I don't know. I'm awful at trivia.
The talkative parrot in Aladdin. Can anybody get it? And save Bailey right now in the chat. All right. Catherine Weimer just joined. Maybe you can help. What is the name of the talkative parrot in Aladdin?
Is it? Can I have a letter?
Yeah, it starts with an I.
Oh, I have no idea then.
Denise said, ask Kensington. Kensington.
Right? I'm like,
It's Iago.
I'm so bad at trivia.
Bailey, this trivia game plate has cracked and there is food everywhere. You got 2 out of 5 right.
Yikes.
Don't worry about it. Marcus Weimer got 1 out of 5. So
Oh, bless.
you are not the worst. I threw in a Gilmore Girls question.
Thank you.
Bring it back. So we have had some great special guests here on MG Students Live. You have been one of the best, Bailey. In fact, you were one of the original ones, and then Devin Dummel renominated you. So here you are again. And now it's your turn. Who would you like to nominate to be a special guest on our show?
Can I nominate Trey and Bailey Fall?
You absolutely can. All right.
Cool.
Trey and Bailey. This would be very fun. All right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Trey and Bailey Fall, we're coming for you. We're going to ask you guys to come on and be special guests here on MG Students Live. All right.
Cool.
Okay. And one last order of business before we go, the Instagram poll of the day. We have had some great questions asked to our Instagram audience. We asked last week, would you rather be dumped in a text or dumped in front of friends? And dumped by text was a big winner on that one. What did you guys choose if you're in the text right now? Did you pick to be dumped by a text message, or would you rather be dumped by your friends? And then last week, Riley asked our Instagram crowd, what's better, choir or band? And like 70% of people said choir. So now it's your turn. What do you want us to pull our Instagram audience on?
Yeah, I think the only option here is, which is better, Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Dunkin' or Starbucks? This is really going to polarize the people.
It really is. This is how we find out who my true friends are.
Dunkin' or Starbucks? All right, what do you guys say? Dunkin' or Starbucks? I'm on team Starbucks all the way. That's for sure. Bailey, you're team Dunkin', right?
Oh, yeah.
All the way. JC says Dunkin'. Kinsley says Starbucks. Kinsley is a devoted watcher of.
She is.
She is all about it.
She's on it.
That's what we love about Kinsley. and some of our other friends. All right, Bailey, now's your chance to say anything to the people. It's your closing thoughts, your closing words, and then we're going to sign off here. What do you say?
Finish out school strong. I know we're getting into the last couple of weeks, so stay strong in that and read all the books.
All right.
Advice.
Stay strong, people. All right. School is right there. You don't want to drown like 5 inches from shore. So keep swimming.
Finish line is in sight.
That's right. The end is in sight. All right. Thank you all for joining us at mgstudents.online.church. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. We're now over 100 subscribers. So we're making our way on YouTube. And thank you all for joining us on Instagram and for participating in the chat. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. with Ethan Weimer. And don't forget, seriously, you are known, valued, and loved as a child of God. And we hope that this was encouraging to you and that you had some fun hanging out with me and Bailey today. Thanks for being here, Bailey. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys. All right. Bailey, great job.
Cool.